Hey everybody!
Hey guys!
I got her.
Do you remember
I found
me?
her. I found
He
her.
hunted me down.
Yep. We're towards the end of the challenge, and we're going to give you a couple tips to help you accelerate fat loss towards the end of your challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is, of course, like these tips are going to be built for the person that has some really good success with the challenge, meaning they've increased lean mass or skeletal muscle mass at least a little bit, and you've also burnt fat, okay? So if you're in a situation where you haven't really, you've had trouble building muscle or you've had trouble burning fat, specifically if you've had trouble building muscle, this might not be for you. But so we're going to talk about two things to help you burn fat better towards the end of the challenge. The first one's going to be carb cycling,
Okay.
which Nicole's going to talk about.
Yep.
The second one's going to be intermittent fasting, and I'm going to handle that one. So, Nicole, the dietitian, go.
That sounds good. I love about carb cycling. So I'm a woman, right? I have worked with a lot of women that have had struggles breaking through or busting their plateau. And so the carb cycling thing is something that I love because it helps you just to bust through a plateau. And I have seen success. I feel safe saying 95% of the time. I can't say the other 5, but I can't think of a time that it wasn't successful with a person. And what I love about carb cycling is that it's not meant to be forever. Carb cycling is basically eating carbs on particular days and avoiding carbs on other days. So the way that we identify carb cycling is to start, we would say 2 days or so without carbs and then 1 day with carbs. Now that means eating fat, protein, vegetables for breakfast, lunch, supper, and your snacks, doing a high protein, low carb snack as well. And then on that 3rd day, that's when you can introduce carbs. And you would introduce carbs in the ways of whole wheat. You would introduce it in the way of fruits. You would introduce it in the way of yogurts or milks. And that would be on your day 3. That is it. And then you can have things like fruit with your snack. So if you have cheese and almonds for an afternoon snack on your no carb days, you can have fruit on your carb days. So we call that burn and refuel. Those 3 days, you just keep doing them over and over and over for the next, 9-10 days or however long you have left of the challenge.
Yep.
That is it. After 2 weeks, typically we adjust those days so that it's maybe 1 burn and 1 refuel, or 3 burn and 1 refuel, and that's something you can talk to your coach about.
Yep.
But essentially it's just eliminating carbs, saving them for a great day, and then repeating. And so what I love about that is just that I could not avoid things like bread. I couldn't avoid things like fruit. You know, I do like my beer,
pasta,
right?
rice,
Pasta,
taters,
pasta's
starch.
my favorite, especially that fancy pasta. They got it at Olive Garden.
Super fancy.
I can't never pass it up. I'm not kidding. But I don't want to avoid it. And so this is my way of saying, hey, come day 3, Nicole, kill it for 2 days. On day 3, we'll find a little bit of room for some of those things.
Tip 2 is going to be intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a great way to continue burning fat and to accelerate fat burning towards the end of the challenge. And like I said before, if you had trouble building muscle, then this might not be right for you. And so here's what we recommend. Intermittent fasting is not consuming any food that would trigger digestion. So protein would trigger digestion, carbohydrates trigger digestion. But fat, so while you're fasting, so fat is okay. So you would fast from 8 p.m., for example. This is a great technique to use, 8 p.m. till noon. So you're fasting for 16 hours, okay? You'd pick up the fork and eat at noon. You'd put down the fork for sure by 8 p.m. So you're only consuming food for 8 hours. And I would still recommend carb backloading within that 8-hour window. So adding some heavy cream to your coffee in the morning, that likely won't break your fast. So you can still have some nutrition that won't ruin the fast. But during the fast, I would highly recommend amino acids, Catalyst, Biocharge, BCAAs, to make sure your lean mass, your skeletal muscle mass is preserved. So you have 2 tips towards the end of the challenge.
I love it. What I also love about the intermittent fasting that I've talked to about women, and you wouldn't know this because you don't struggle with this. It's weird that men actually don't struggle as much as women do with this. I don't know. Maybe it's a hormone thing, right? But we snack a lot. We snack. We tend to, graze when we're in a hurry, or we tend to want to snack late at night. What I love about intermittent fasting is that when you have those very clear boundaries and you don't go outside of them, you know, Holly is actually a great example. When she was doing intermittent fasting and she just stopped eating after 6 p.m., that is it. She had great results. And it was just because we have such a tendency to snack. I think it's important to say it creates those boundaries, you know, which is good.
Good point.
Anyway, I digress.
Good point. Thank you. So hopefully this helps out, guys. Again, these may or may not work for you. Talk to your coach just to have that personal conversation to see if it's right for you, and hopefully you can end this challenge strong.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, boss. Bam.
Hey guys, this next tip comes to you by the way of Coach Jacki. She's going to talk to you about some back exercises for your lats and your back muscles, your rhomboids and things like that, the muscles you use to row. If you feel like you have trouble controlling your shoulder blades and you don't feel like you get full range of motion or full contraction, or you don't ever feel like those muscles are ever really sore, take a look at these next few exercises. They're going to be great ones to do on your own a couple times a week, just to wake some of those muscles up and to help you feel those muscles work more efficiently in class, in doing pull-ups, in doing rows, body rows, things like that. So check it out.
Here are 4 back exercises. Accessory moves to the big compound lifts, such as pull-ups, rows, and deadlifts. Bent over back shrug. You will use a scapular retraction only to make sure that the blades are moving together correctly. Low load and neutral grip. Scapular hinge lat pushdown. By taking the shoulder blade down into the back pocket, you will get your scapular depression. Strengthening lats and lower traps, you will focus on each side unilaterally. Single arm bent over fly. Great for the posterior delt and upper back. Notice the soft elbow and initiating the pull with your back. No bounce, just stability. All too often, we lift too heavy and too fast. This can help us focus. Banded snow angel with no load, but a ton of range of motion. Again, scapular retraction with upward motion and rotation. These 3 moves here work together in control. Retraction, rotation, and protraction.
Hey, Nate.
Hey Luke, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good.
Hey, question for you.
What?
Do diet pills really work?
Yeah, of course they do.
They do? Because I have a friend that they take a lot of diet pills, and I don't know if it really ever works for them. And I want to, like, how does a diet pill work for you?
Well, in order to use a diet pill effectively, you need to have your exercise and nutrition on wrap first.
Okay, so I can't just like not work out and eat cheeseburgers and expect the diet pill to work?
Absolutely not. It's like a
Okay.
deadlift. If you don't have good form, you can ruin something else.
So like a deadlift it could be a very effective exercise, but if you do a deadlift wrong, you could get injured. It could be very ineffective.
Yeah, of course.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna get injured by the pill. You're just gonna be wasting your money.
Gotcha. All right, so if I dial my nutrition in and I can prove to you, my coach, that I can lose fat through nutrition, you think that maybe a diet pill or a thermogenic might help me accelerate my results?
Yeah, of course.
Really? Okay, that sounds awesome. Okay, so now as far as a thermogenic goes, like how do I know if it is working?
Well, Luke, you take it for a month, and then we'll recheck your in-body and see how it's doing.
Okay, that sounds great. I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Thanks,
perfect.
Coach Nate.
Ha! Ha!
Thanks, Coach Nate. You're great. So a few thermogenics that we know, like, and trust at Fit Club are number 1, Thermo Plus. Thermo Plus is a capsule that you take anywhere from 1, 2, or 3 times a day, and work with your coach on this, but you're going to want to start with 1 capsule, likely when you wake up in the morning, and perhaps a second capsule mid-afternoon on an empty stomach. Anytime you would take a Spark would be when you would have a Thermal Plus. Number 2 is Slim. If you are the drinkable type of person, then Slim's for you. Slim is also loaded with some great thermogenics. They can help you burn fat more efficiently. And then finally, we have M&S Delta. The M&S Delta is a multivitamin, multi-mineral, along with a thermogenic. So you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck in this product. There's going to be it's going to be multifaceted. So you're going to get a lot more in this product. So all of these three, it's important to keep in mind that you have a good diet. Your nutrition is locked in, and you're also exercising. These are not magic pills. They're designed to help accelerate fat loss. And if you're not burning fat already, it's going to be hard to all of a sudden start burning fat more efficiently with this. So just make sure you talk to your coach and make sure it's right for you. Thanks, guys.